Hey gang, I'm Mr. Phil. We're in the workshop and you are watching Rat Chat episode 15. Now that is a monumental number because that means that for 15 weeks in a row we've had discussions here on Rat Chat, but the big number to beat is epi number 26 because that was the record we set last summer with 26 consecutive epis. So we're gonna get there. But without further ado, here we are for this week's most amazing epi. And as you can see, the Witch's Brew coffee mug is behind me, ready for review. It's full, it's hot, and the review is going down in just a minute. What have I been up to in this week and what's new? Well, the week has been one of pretty much everything you can imagine. Great progress, enjoyable time spent with people, lots of life lessons, great experiences, and also some horrific, horrible news. In between today and last week's epi, I learned that one of my closest friends had passed on over the summer. And it was a very strange set of circumstances because our mutual friend thought he had told me when it happened, and he thought that it was something that I was aware of. And he felt terribly to find out that I didn't learn of Heather's passing over the summer. But last week was her birthday, and I went to go wish her a happy birthday and saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tribute messages posted on her Facebook timeline. So it was a quite shocking way to find out that this person that I loved and missed dearly had been gone for such a while now, since June 25th, 2017. And to find out that someone has left this earth is never easy, let alone find out in such a surprise manner via social media. So I want to thank each and every one of you that reached out to me, replied to my tribute to Heather, or just simply wrote a message wishing me well and let me know that you're thinking about me. I appreciate all of your support, love, and encouragement more than you'll ever know, so thank you, because it really has helped shape my response in my week since. Heather, I miss you, and I will miss you always. And for those that did not read the complete post, Heather was a dear friend of mine who really encouraged me to take that risk of leaving the 9-to-5 world, going to beauty school, sticking through beauty school during the injuries, graduating, getting my license, moving out of the jobs I was holding, and opening up shop here in Suite 41. And the last time I saw Heather was for her haircut here in the workshop. So I am grateful to say that mission accomplished. Heather was able to see all of it through from start to present day. And I know she's watching all of us and watching all the progress and good times that we share here in the workshop. Other things that have happened since. I ate way too much queso over the weekend, and maybe you might argue you can never eat too much queso, but I've been really focusing on spending time with those that I cherish and spending good quality time with my friends and cohorts here at Good Rats Barbershop and Social Club. And I think that is best summed up by the epis of persona and the photo shoots and the hair and the visits and just all the cool things, the t-shirt pre-sales that happened the past week. It's been a week of a lot of progress. And the t-shirt sales will be closing for round 2 of pre-sale this week on March 1st. So if you don't have your Medusa or classic rat shirt order in yet, let me know. Prepay your $20. Let me know what size and what design you want, and we'll get you on the list. So that way this shipment of Good Rats merchandise shirts will be including your shirt. All right, other news before we get to the mug review. Not much new here in way of product, but what I've been really enjoying is working with so many new faces. In the past few weeks, in between epis, I've met more and more people. I've heard more and more stories coming from the people that you bring here to Suite 41. And again, I am just so grateful that you all trust me so much that you're bringing your friends and your family and your coworkers and your associates and whatever it might be for their hair sessions here at Suite 41. I am ready to review a mug. And if you all are ready to watch a review, let's do this thing. Here you see the Witch's Brew coffee mug filling up in the K-Cup machine. It holds a great capacity. I chose to fill this one just below the maximum capacity line because the walk down the hall on the break room test, I was a little concerned about the rolled edges at the top. Now, the open rolled edges at the top gave me some fear because when the coffee sloshes, it's going to hit the walls and jump over the rolled edges. The capacity is very good as it's a wider mug, so it's going to hold a lot of coffee. The handle was easy to use and manipulate walking down the hall, and all three corners, leaving the break room, making that first bend through the hallway, and then the third turn into my suite here. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Witch's Brew coffee mug. And we're gonna do a slow turn. It's got some great graphics. I mean, you can see that it's got all sorts of spider webs. There's a skull right there. There's a spider. The main icon of a witch. And then down here, I don't know if you can see it, but on the base, there are bat wings and there's all sorts of great stuff. The handle is very stylized. And this mug was submitted for review by none other than Becca. And so here we go. That's your first look at the Witch's Brew coffee mug. And now for the initial sip. Okay, I like the sipability out of this mug. So if you remember the glazed donut coffee mug review, when I said that it had the ridges that would trap coffee, the designer ridges here on the Witch's Brew coffee mug aid in sipability. As you can see here, these little ridges, they fit really well when you're sipping. And because the top is flared, it helps channel coffee into your mouth. Sipability, very high marks. Graphics, very high marks. Design, very high marks. The handle's pretty comfortable, and for the first time ever here on Rat Chat, folks, you see that I can link my pinky underneath the handle and still maintain good upward thumb grip placement here. So handleability, very well. It's balanced, it's not too heavy. And as I drink, I don't feel the coffee sloshing. I would say that walking test was okay. Ergonomics are great. You can side grip it if you would like, and that's very comfortable. Now, here's a caveat I would just throw out here because it has this little foot, right? It keeps the coffee in place here. But for those of us that, if anyone has this weird kind of grip, this underhand grip, I would say this would not be the mug for you. But again, who drinks coffee like this? Who actually holds it like that? I've never seen that before. This is an advanced grip technique that I'm using right now. The under pinky and the over thumb. I'm gonna flip it around on the other hand and see how that is repeatable. Two hands can work efficiently at the, I'm gonna call this the over-under grip. Over-under passes. And now let's put this down on the stand for the placement test. Placement test was great. I've never seen someone do this with like this weird grip. I don't think that would work too well. I like it. My final thoughts on Witch's Brew coffee mug are these. It passes with great style, great handleability, near flawless sipability. I can use different grips on it. As demonstrated, I can use the standard thumb grip. I can use the over-under grip. I could side hand it. And this is repeatable on both sides. So again, standard thumb grip, over-under, and then side grip. I can use all of these and drink comfortably out of them. The balance is really nice. It doesn't tip forward, it doesn't pull back while you're drinking it, stays balanced. The coffee stays in here and doesn't fly over the edges, so there's very little sloshing happening around. I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 on the Witch's Brew coffee mug. And now all the cynics are going to ask, where is that last deduction coming from? And I'll tell you, the last deduction is going to come from the walking test. Certainly has something to do with it because the high rolled edges do increase risk of sloshing. And then the small footprint, again, sometimes on placement, you feel like it's just not going to sit. Has a little bit of wobble, lifting, and placement. Ooh. The mug almost dropped off the stand. Okay, so I have my phone open here, and I'm gonna throw this graphic on screen to what it is that I'm looking at. Here's a phone, and this graphic will be on screen right now. It was a screen capture that I took from the Instagram page Barber Treasure, and whoever the original poster was has written, and you can read the words here, "This is why your haircut isn't $20. And not to mention, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, saying why this barber feels like they are undercharging. A couple things about this. One, I think it's really classless to list out how, and there are like 7 or 8 photos of the things that this barber has diagrammed and how much they cost. So tools, and it goes on and on and on. And each one of these swipes is another set of tools and products that they're listing the price on. It goes on to say, not only are you paying for our service, but our expertise and professionalism. Funny they use the word professionalism, and most of all, quality. All appointments with me start at $30. If you want dye or color enhancement, it will cost more. And I truly feel like I am undercharging. So that's the post, and again, it's a lot of bragging, I think, about how much money they spend on their stuff. So pretty much what he's saying is that he's blaming you, the people, for how much money he's spent on his business, so that way he can do his job that he chooses to do, which makes no damn sense. Are tools and education and all of that expensive in this industry? Sure. It's no different than any other industry, and to some point, writing these posts saying how you need to pay more, you need to step up and give me more money for the amount of money I chose to spend on my tools is just stupid. And it's really demeaning to you guys who trust professionals to be professional. And number 2, it's a post that is shaming or blaming the clients for how much this barber charges, and at that point still claiming that they are worth more than what they are earning. And for those of you that don't see something wrong with this post, I am here to explain it to you. As far as me not liking the industry, but I do like coffee quite a bit. As far as me not liking the industry, these are the posts that really make me angry. First of all, yeah, tools cost money. Yeah, supplies cost money. Sure, my license and schooling cost me money. However, all of those things at the end of the day are just things. They are things that I purchased in order to produce your hair cuts, your color. These are things I need to do my job, and I chose to spend that much money on my tools. I chose to contact Mizutani for a custom set of shears that cost more money than something that I could buy at the store. I chose to invest my money into my craft, so that way I can create experiences for you. And so I don't list how much my tools cost. I don't list how much I spend per week or month on supplies, because in the end, none of that matters. What matters is that you and I have a positive session. What matters is that you love your haircut. What matters is that you love your hair color. What matters is that your experience, your self-image, and your confidence are all built positively here in Suite 41. The money spent, the money earned, all of those things are details. And never would I sit here and try to make any one of you feel as if you're a dollar amount, a session number, or another piece of the machine. I'm drinking out of, all right, so the little sippy part I'm using right now is a skull sippy part. Freaking love the little skull sippy part. To wrap up my thought on this post is that client shaming is never okay. It's never okay to publicly go out and insinuate that in order to do your job, you must spend this money to get quality. I think that is the first point that I want to dispel. You give me the most basic set of beauty school tools, I can create your haircut with those just the same as I can the tools that I chose to use here professionally in the workshop. And the second piece that I want to dispel is that you're never going to hear me discuss with you or anyone else the value of your session based on a price tag. Your value is about you as a human, as you as a confident person that's part of our culture here, And you're never going to have to worry about me saying I'm undercharging you, and for what you're getting, you should be paying this. Lastly, most importantly, there is no price tag that can adequately or accurately be placed on a good experience. I really feel like positivity and positive living, growth, self-discovery, self-awareness, and self-expression are priceless items that we should treasure and honor and share with one another. For this original poster to put value on money before experience, I have to disagree. So Barber Treasure, clean up your act. Stop posting this dramatic, braggy, boastful nonsense. Now, earlier we talked about how we respond to stimulus, whether it's good or bad or great or awful. There's not much we can do to change the past. There's actually nothing we can do to change the past. So what we can do is change how we react and proceed to live a more positive, more mindful, and more creative life thereafter. And people always talk about how we respond after a bad situation, how we respond after a tragedy, but I think it should go a lot further than that. And we, as creative, positive, living humans, have to remind ourselves to continue positivity following positivity. And that is a core belief of mine, and not just my day-to-day personal living, but running the shop here. And if someone, for instance, loves their hair color, it doesn't mean that we sit back and accept that and rest on our laurels. It means that the next time that they come in for their hair color, we meet and exceed their love with more positivity and something new for them to love. Even if that new thing is simply how we discuss it. Simply saying, "That's great, I'm happy that you love your color," can then turn into, "That's great, I'm really happy that you love your color so much." I added two things into that statement. Inflection improved into a more uplifting tone, and I added so much at the end, because when we quantify positivity, saying "I'm happy to see you" is a little less effective than saying "I am really happy to see you." And when we quantify things, sometimes it returns us back to how in past epis we talked about removing hope from our vocabulary. By saying "I am really happy to see you," it's declaring that yes, I'm happy to see you, but it's also affirming just how happy I am to see you. So when we modify and reply to positivity with positivity, we then begin to grow a culture of positive living without having to put forth a tremendous amount of altered or different effort. So give it a try. Try declaring and affirming your positive living in your day-to-day life. And we've talked about in the past how saying "I hope" or "hopefully" is in part using doubt. So we replace that with making statements. Instead of saying "I hope you have a good day," I'm going to wish you to have a good day. You good rats, have a good day. And that's really it, guys. That is Rat Chat ep15, brought to you by the Witch's Brew coffee mug. So I want to thank all of you for all of your support in these trying past couple of weeks. I appreciate it, I value it, and I will see you all soon. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and this is Mr. Phil signing off.